Ross Cullum pushes Liesel Obrecht too far in the Windermere lab, leading Cassius to completely shatter his Nathan West facade, snap Cullum's neck to save his mother, and accidentally terrify her with his inner Cesar Faison. Hello everyone, and welcome back to the channel. It is a wild, beautiful, and absolutely chaotic day to be a fan, and my brain is simply buzzing. Let's dive right into this madness. Okay, so I've been thinking about this, and I just can't get this Windermere lab scene out of my head. I'm sitting here typing this late at night, staring at my screen, because I keep replaying Cassius's face right before he made his move. It's weird. Like, really weird. The whole thing is just weird. I mean, we've known he was playing Nathan West for a while now, but the psychological implications of what he just did, it's massive. Actually, no, wait. The first, I should mention how we even got to this exact moment, because the pacing of this storyline has been wild, and I need to lay out the context before I lose my train of thought. Okay, wait, let me back up. Ross Cullum. The guy has been an absolute menace to society in Port Charles. He chloroformed Liesel Obrecht in her car, tossed her in that Windermere sub-basement cell with Jocelyn Jacks like she was just a piece of luggage. And Liesel, being Liesel, obviously isn't going to just quietly synthesize Cesar Faison's cold fusion, prototype, or whatever the heck this project is that Jen Sidwell is so obsessed with. She's stubborn. It is her defining character trait. But Cullum is impatient, and that impatience is basically what got him killed. Or maybe it was his arrogance. I don't know. But the point is... Wait, what was the point? Oh, right. Cullum pushing Liesel to the brink in the laboratory. So they are in the lab. The lighting in that Windermere set is always so moody, kind of blue and sterile, which perfectly set the tone. Cullum is losing his mind because Liesel is being obstinate. And you know Kathleen Gotti was acting her absolute heart out in this scene, just giving him that classic, piercing Obrecht death glare that could melt steel. Cullum pulls his gun. He's literally about to execute her right there to make a point, which honestly is a terrible villain strategy, because if you kill your only scientist who finishes the prototype, but then again, that doesn't explain why Sidwell hired him in the first place, if he's this impulsive. Anyway, Cullum aims the gun, and Cassius is just standing there in the background. Here's what's bugging me. Cassius has spent months, literally months, perfecting this Nathan West persona. He's had the stoic good guy cop routine down to an absolute science. He's fooled everyone. He even managed to keep Lulu in the dark, and she loved Nathan deeply, so he's standing in this lab, watching Cullum threaten his mother, and you can see the exact millisecond the Nathan facade shatters. It's like the cognitive dissonance of his dual identity just collapses all at once. He can't be the good guy anymore, but he also can't just be the obedient Sidwell henchman. He's a son protecting his mother, but the way he does it is so dark. He attacks Cullum from behind, and it wasn't just a struggle. He didn't just wrestle the gun away like a normal hero would. He didn't try to disarm him and make a citizen's arrest. He snapped his neck, just crack, dead. I think it was episode 12, or 13, somewhere around there when we first saw how dangerous Cassius could be. But this was next level. This was pure, unadulterated brutality. It was so fast, my brain kind of short-circuited. I had to rewind it 3 times. The sheer physical power and the coldness of it. He didn't hesitate. He didn't monologue. He just eliminated the threat with zero remorse. But the really fascinating part, and this is why I stay up too late thinking about character motivations, is Liesel's reaction. You'd think she'd be relieved, right? Her son just saved her life. She was seconds away from taking a bullet to the head. But she's horrified. She's absolutely terrified. Because she didn't see Nathan West saving her. She saw Cesar Faison. The way Cassius moved, the absolute lack of remorse in his eyes after he killed a man with his bare hands. It was Faison all over again. And Liesel has spent her entire life trying to protect Britt from that legacy, trying to outrun the ghost of Cesar Faison. And now she's looking at this son, this twin she thought died at birth, whom Faison secretly raised or hid away, and she realizes the monster is standing right in front of her. It's tragic, honestly. I mean, not exactly, but kind of, because she just got him back. She just had to process the heartbreaking confession in the cell that Nathan is truly dead and this is his twin brother. And her first real experience with Cassius, outside of a cage, is watching him commit cold-blooded murder. The psychological trauma for Obrecht here is off the charts. I can't even begin to imagine how she processes this going forward. It makes me think about Britt and Nathan. Nathan was raised away from Faison, raised by Madeline, and he turned out to be this pure, good-hearted hero. Britt had to actively fight her darker impulses her whole life to become a good doctor and a decent person. But Cassius was marinated in Faison's darkness. He doesn't have Nathan's morality. He just wears it like a suit. and the second that suit didn't serve him, he took it off and broke a man's neck. Probably doesn't matter, but I noticed the way he stood over the body was almost identical to how Faison used to stand over his victims. Or maybe not. I don't know, maybe I'm reading too much into the blocking of the scene. Okay, I know I just said the opposite, but hear me out. Maybe Cassius didn't just do it for Liesel. Maybe he wanted Cullum out of the way for his own power play. No, wait. That doesn't make sense because killing Cullum puts a massive target on his back. Jen Sidwell is going to absolutely lose his mind. Sidwell does not tolerate betrayal. And Cassius just murdered his top enforcer. Sidwell is already furious about Britt and Rocco being on the run, and now his main guy is dead on the floor of the Windermere lab. Cassius is going to be hunted. There is no reality where Sidwell just lets this slide. What does this mean for the rest of the canvas? If Cullum is dead, what happens to Jack Brennan at Turning Woods? Cullum was the one dosing him with the paralytic. Does Brennan just wake up now and walk out? Well, Nina didn't dose him, so he's already awake. But now, he doesn't have to fake it as hard. And what about Jason? Jason was taken into WSB custody, taking the fall for Cullum getting shot by Rocco. If Cullum is dead, does the WSB care? I mean, probably murder is still murder, but the dynamic completely shifts. And poor Jocelyn is still locked in that sub-basement. Does Cassius go back and let her out? Or does he leave her there because he has to go on the run from Sidwell? I'm second-guessing myself constantly here. If Cassius runs, he has to take Liesel with him, right? But Liesel is terrified of him now. Will she even go? She might try to run away from her own son. Imagine that dynamic. You just saved your mom's life by snapping a guy's neck, and now your mom looks at you like you're the devil. It's Shakespearean. Sort of. Basically. Cassius is now trapped between Sidwell's wrath and his mother's rejection. He's alienated the one person he probably wanted to impress or connect with. He blew his cover, ruined his standing with Sidwell, and traumatized his mom all in one swift motion. I keep going down these rabbit holes about the Faison gene. Like, is evil genetic in the GH universe? We've seen it debated with Spencer, with Nicholas, with all the Cassidines. But the Faison bloodline is uniquely messed up. Cassius is the ultimate nature versus nurture experiment. He looks exactly like Nathan. He sounds like Nathan. He even managed to mimic Nathan's empathy well enough to fool Maxie and Lulu for a bit. But underneath, the programming is all Caesar. When push comes to shove, the Faison programming overrides the Nathan software. It's terrifying because you realize Nathan could have been this if Madeline hadn't taken him. And let's talk about Sidwell for a second. Sidwell is cold, calculating, and relies on fear. Cullum was his blunt instrument. With Cullum gone, who does Sidwell use to enforce his will? Does he have a backup squad? Or is he going to have to get his own hands dirty? Sonny and Laura are currently trying to build a legal case to take Sidwell down using Lucas and Pascal. But this murder in the lab changes the entire board. It accelerates everything. Sidwell is going to be out for blood, which makes him reckless. And a reckless Sidwell is a dangerous Sidwell. I wonder if Sonny will find out about this and use it to his advantage. What was I saying? Oh, right, Cassius and the fallout. Does Cassius try to hide the body? I mean, it's Windermere. There are secret passages and catacombs everywhere. He could easily stash Cullum's body in a wall somewhere. But Sidwell isn't stupid. He's going to know Cassius did it because Cassius was the only other person in the lab with Liesel. Unless Cassius tries to frame Liesel, no, he wouldn't do that. He just killed a man to save her. But then again, he is a Faison, so logic doesn't always apply. I'm just spinning my wheels here, trying to figure out his next move. It's just so fascinating to watch a character break. We've watched Cassius be so controlled. Every movement, every word was calculated to project Nathan West. And the moment he snapped that neck, his posture changed. His face changed. The mask slipped completely off. I have to give major props to the actor, because playing a guy, playing another guy is hard enough. But playing a guy dropping his disguise to reveal a psychopath underneath is Emmy-worthy stuff. I just keep replaying that moment. The sheer violence of it. Honestly, I feel so bad for Liesel. She has lost so much. She lost Nathan, she lost Britt, who was on the run, but still lost to her. And now she finds this son, only to realize he's a carbon copy of the man who ruined her life. Cesar Faison has been dead for years, but he's still destroying Liesel Obrecht's life from beyond the grave through Cassius. It's poetic. But it's so cruel. I don't know how she recovers from this. She's a tough cookie. But seeing Faison in her child's eyes might be the thing that finally breaks her. Anyway, I'm just typing this as fast as I can think it. The whole thing is just wild. We are officially down a major villain with Cullum biting the dust. But we've gained a completely unpredictable wildcard in Cassius. Sidwell is going to unleash hell on Windermere. Laura and Sonny's plan to take Sidwell down legally might just get blown to pieces because the criminal underworld is about to implode. I don't even know what to expect tomorrow. Will Cassius go full villain now that his cover is blown? Will Liesel try to escape him? Okay, I need to go to sleep. My brain is absolutely fried from overanalyzing this. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. If this rambling made any sense at all,